pleasure of being your Master of Ceremonies this evening. I would like to first thank Mr. Stevens and our jazz band for a really wonderful performance to start us off this evening. And to give us our official welcome and opening remarks, we have Dr. Mark Cohen, our wonderful principal.
Not giving you an award, but that's all I get. Come on, after the last 2 years. Good evening, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Mark Cohen, so proud to serve as your principal. It's strange because so many of our students, I haven't seen your faces without masks for 2 years. And now we're beginning the process of celebrating you. It's a weird feeling for me as an educator. I'm used to seeing these faces every single day, and that's been challenging. Our young people, our graduates, our top 25. I think their last couple of years of high school have been defined by that word challenging, right? They have faced so many challenges. They faced them together, and here they are being celebrated for their incredibly great accomplishments. Last weekend, I had the chance to go and visit with my daughter and my wife the Van Gogh immersion exhibit. Anybody been to see it? It's really something special. If you haven't had a chance to go, it's there for a few more weeks. And I share that with you, not to pretend that I'm high and mighty, hoity-toity, going to museums all the time, although I do love museums. I share that because Van Gogh said something that I think is very relevant to this idea of overcoming challenges and achieving greatness. Emblazoned on the wall, in one of the parts of the exhibit, is a Van Gogh quote that says, "Great things are done by a series of small things brought together." And so tonight, as we begin what will feel like to many of you a very long line of celebratory events, I invite our students and our families to think about all of those small decisions, small experiences, small opportunities that you've taken advantage of over the last 18 years. Those that were good, those you volunteered for, and maybe even some of those things that in the moment didn't feel like they had a whole lot of value. And I want to invite you, our students, as we begin the process of celebrating you, I want you to think about how all of the parts have made up this beautiful whole that is you today. All of the parts, all of the experiences that you've had have gotten you to the point where you're being celebrated as a top 25 student. So congratulations for that. My last words tonight, because they only give me a few moments to speak here, I'll give you the longer version of this speech at graduation. My last words for you tonight are words of thanks, not just to our students, words of congratulations, not just to our students, but they're words of thanks and congratulations also to our staff, and most importantly to our families. Congratulations to you all for everything that you've done to help the young people who are being honored tonight reach this point. You have done incredible things, providing them those small opportunities so that they can take them, put them together, and build for themselves a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful future life. Congratulations to our top 25 and your evening.
They asked me to give some opening remarks. Dr. Cohen stole them all. So I just wanted to say welcome to families, friends, Seneca Valley staff, and most importantly, our top 25 honorees. It's so exciting to be here and to finally get the chance to celebrate. After 2 really long and tough years, like Dr. Cohen said, it's just really wonderful to be able to be here in the same room celebrating you all in person, something we weren't really able to do the last couple of years. I also wanted to make sure we took a moment to thank the Student Recognition Committee for making sure that tonight's event could be a reality this year, and all the hard work they went into with setting everything up and getting us a nice dinner and all of that. So I'd like to take a minute to thank Ms. Hinford and all of her staff on the student committee. I'm going to cut my opening remarks short because we're going to hear a lot of honor and praise for all of you all night, and we're going to go ahead and get the show rolling. So now, without further ado, and since we have quite a few speeches to get through, I would like to introduce our first speaker, and that is Mr. Adam Stevens, and he'll be speaking on behalf of Natalie Jardine.
Natalie here?
Yes.
I'm right
Oh,
over
okay.
here.
They're over there. All right, just checking.
Sorry, I'm short.
You're fine.
No, come up.
We have to make them blush a little bit. All right. The first time that I met Natalie, they were a tiny little fourth grader who had just started to play the clarinet. I met them at a football game because their older sister was in the marching band. Their mom said at the time that I could look forward to them being in the marching band, and true to prophecy, a few years later, they joined our marching band as an 8th grader and began a journey that would lead them to becoming one of the ambassadors of our instrumental music program. I'll still never forget the first day that I saw them pick up the tenor saxophone. That thing was bigger than they were. But by sheer determination, and probably with a little help from their friends, Natalie was able to haul that instrument as well as many other larger instruments throughout the halls of our school. Over their time in the instrumental music program, Natalie has established himself as one of our most dedicated students, demonstrating academic excellence and a willingness to always contribute to the greater good. Although I could go on about all that Natalie has accomplished, including serving as drum major and participating in nearly every musical opportunity that our school has to offer, I think that one of the biggest impacts that they've made has been on the people here. Students helping students has always been a big part of the culture in our program, and Natalie serves as a shining example of this. Never one to hesitate to offer a helping hand to a wayward freshman, Natalie has been the shepherd of many students new to our program. Whether it's offering someone a ride in the Jardine Mobile, offering friendly advice during a late night visit to IHOP after an opening night, or giving our newly minted marching band members a drill sergeant style talk on the importance of wearing black socks and uniform, Natalie embodies what it is to be an instrumental music student at Seneca Valley. There are many students in our program that know what it means to be a part of our program and how to make the most of the experience because of Natalie's guidance. I have valued their presence as a trusted student leader and my right-hand advisor over the years, and their absence next year will be sorely missed. Natalie, congratulations on your recognition as a top 25 student, and on behalf of myself and the many students who you've helped during your time here, thank you for your service and support of the instrumental music program. I look forward to hearing about the next steps in your journey. And I just have a couple gifts for them, a couple little mementos from senior year. So.
And yeah, students, you get to come up here for this. So next up, we have a very special video presentation from Ms. Joanna Chilcote Fellows, and, oh, just kidding, also from Ms. Tessa Walker in honor of Ms. Maria Rayback, and followed by Ms. Brenda Pagliarulo.
No, you can come up for your showing of the All right, I probably don't need this, but we will try. So, Miss Fellows is the drama teacher here, and she cannot be here because she's currently on maternity leave with her newborn twins. So we all wish her healthy and happy thoughts, and as many of us in this room know, she has impacted the lives of many students in her years as a teacher here at Seneca Valley. And in order to have Miss Fellows with us tonight, she has made a couple videos to support her students and speak on their behalf. And before they do, I'm just going to introduce both those students. So up first, we have Maria, and I'm lucky enough to have worked with Maria throughout my 3 years here at Seneca Valley. First, through her pit orchestra experience in Charlie Brown back in 2020 when the whole world shut down for a moment. And then virtually, I was honored to work with her on her own singing voice for our Hope virtual musical experience. And then this year, She has definitely been the student leader that we all needed for our production of The Little Mermaid, which just ended this last weekend. I'll let Ms. Fellows speak, but I just wanted to make sure it was understood that Maria also touched my life and has made a difference for me as a teacher. She tends to do that with everyone she meets. She's going to take the world by storm, and I'm just happy to buckle up and enjoy the ride with everyone else. So I will let Ms. Fellows speak.
Maria is an intelligent, organized, highly motivated, and kind young woman who gives her best effort in everything she does. Maria has been a member of Seneca Valley's chapter of the International Thespian Honor Society for 3 years, and recently took on the role of president. She's been an active participant in our school's theatrical productions for the past 4 years. She has played roles ranging ensemble to starring, played in the pit crew, worked on tech crew, and in every role she undertakes, she demonstrates dedication, positivity, hard work, and flexibility. She's focused. She knows how to take direction. She comes to rehearsals with original ideas that align with the overall vision of the show. She often reaches out to me outside of rehearsal times, outside of class times, for ideas on the production and support and management and tasks and leadership and opportunities for all of our students. She has revived the International Thespian Honor Society. She's given it new structure and drive. And in my absence over the past several months, she has taken leadership entirely, very seriously, working with our interim sponsor, Ms. Julie Taylor, to ensure that the induction, the ceremony, and the student-directed showcase all continue. One other thing to love about Maria is that she takes genuine interest in her studies. Her joy in discovery is palpable and contagious. Maria is extraordinary. She's got commendable intelligence, open-mindedness, and creativity. Maria is the type of student who challenges me as both a teacher and a director, and I mean that in a good way. Keep it up, Maria. Don't settle for less than you know is possible.
For Ms. Fellows for Brenna. Brenna is an absolute beast, and that embodies everything about her. And it's what she does. And what she does is a lot. Her maturity and professionalism are striking at her age. I've been so fortunate to work with her throughout our recent Little Mermaid production. She is beyond experienced and so kind, and easily gains respect from students and adults alike. It's going to be hard losing such a formidable force within the tech group community here at Seneca Valley. However, I know that she has worked hard to train the upcoming students, and her imprint will stay forever in this theater company. So, Brenna, Ms. Fellows would like to say a few words.
Brenna Pagliarulo. She's the kind of person who just makes you feel welcome. There's something about Brenna's energy, here I call it her energy, puts you at ease, makes you feel like you belong. It's a quiet energy with a strong pull. It's the kind of energy that we want in our theater program, in our classrooms, and frankly, in our lives. Brenna moved from spotlight operator to house manager to video editor to stage manager. And I think that trajectory clearly epitomizes her desire to celebrate others, to serve her community, and to create spaces where each person can be recognized for their strengths. As a spotlight operator, she took directions and improvised upon them in a crucial support role that literally shines a light on other people's talents. As house manager, she was charged with creating a welcoming atmosphere for audience members, bringing newcomers into the space in a way that makes them feel at home. As a video editor, she recognizes the best takes and presents them in a way that makes everybody look good. And as our stage manager, she created schedules and designed tasks and created teams that were not only in service to the story and the production, but were also carefully orchestrated to foster relationships and nurture skills in ways that allowed each technical crew member to find success. Her inclusion here in these top 25 GPA earners is a triumph in its own right, but to me, Brenna's leadership, community building, and warmth are even more worthy of celebrating. To quote Maya Angelou, I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Brenna, you have a lasting impact, and none of us will forget how you made us feel. We'll miss you.
And now we have the pleasure of hearing Ms. Walker speak about Cindy Ellis-Reyes.
I'm just up here all night just saying. I've had the absolute honor, true honor of being Cindy's choral teacher for the past 3 years. It has been an immense joy, and I must say I had trouble writing this speech because there are just too many memories that come to mind over the past few years. Small memories, like Cindy sitting at the piano trying to pluck out notes from our music, either by reading or by ear, or Cindy asking me random questions about key signatures, just wanting to double check she was right. And of course, Cindy laughing with her chorus family. Big memories, like Cindy coming in during lunch to learn chorus songs because she wasn't able to be in chorus due to scheduling conflicts. That dedication should not come as a shock to anyone who knows her. She puts 110% into everything she does. Music lives in this girl's soul. Her talent is endless, and her commitment to bettering her craft is admirable. I would say I hope she continues to sing and play and be a part of music. However, I don't think it could leave her if she tried. The thing about music kids is that it is often their only identifier. Well, not Cindy. Cindy has been involved in the athletic program throughout her time in high school. She's also in health professions career path, which takes a lot of time and extra energy. And life throws a lot of curveballs at you, as we all know. However, Cindy always does a wonderful job balancing. She knows when to say no to something that won't fit, and that boundary is often not learned this young. I'm privileged to get to know the genuine character of my students. Recently, Cindy's medical knowledge was vitally important to someone in her life. She was called upon to help take care and nurse someone close to her. And she did it. Of course she did it. And she did it with her head up, and she did it too with all the commitments around her, concerts, school, internships. I don't know many adults, let alone students, that would be able to pull that off with such grace. Cindy wouldn't be honored tonight if she wasn't academically astute and extremely hardworking. It's the other stuff that makes Cindy Cindy that I wanted to make sure to share with everyone tonight. The world is a better place with Cindy in it, and so many lives are going to be enriched by her talent and presence as she walks through life's journey. It's been a pleasure to teach her, and she has left a beautiful mark on my teaching career forever. Thank you, Cindy. Next, I'd like to welcome Mr. Jonathan Blaine, speaking on behalf of Natalie Sayre.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Natalie, I am very happy to have been your teacher while you were at Seneca. I'm very honored to be able to represent you tonight. And since I've taught almost all of you here tonight, congratulations to you all. I'm sure I'm not the only one, as Dr. Cohen said earlier, that thinks that your high school experience has been a little unconventional, to say the least. I usually do a little roasting of the students that I've represented at this event in the past years, but I really can't do that in this case. I I typically teach the talented freshmen every year in AP Government, and although they may be talented, they're still freshmen. But I simply can't think of anything to tease you about tonight, and believe me, that's rare. I taught Natalie as a freshman, but she could have been in a class full of seniors, and no one would have noticed anything out of place. She's the epitome of a great student. She works hard, she makes it look effortless. She doesn't complain, or if she does, she's savvy enough not to conceal, her indignation. And she has one of the greatest qualities a person can have, which is motivation. I never had to remind her to pay attention, or to get off her phone, or to study more. She never had to take a reassessment, because she was always prepared, and she always took pride in her work. Natalie always has a positive attitude. And I appreciate all the hard work that you did to be successful. I hope you feel some satisfaction towards what you've accomplished, because you do deserve it. Natalie is simply a student that makes my job very easy, and for that I thank you. She has a delightful personality and also a great sense of humor. So, Natalie, congratulations on winning this award. And I don't even have to say best of luck to you in the future, because I know you're not going to need it. So congratulations.
We're going to deviate very, very slightly, and we're going to go ahead and do Miss Alexa Preston next. Miss Beecraft unfortunately could not be here tonight, and so we have some video remarks on her behalf.
Good evening. My name is Kim Beecraft, and I'm so sorry to not be there in person tonight since my daughter is sick, but I'm honored to be presenting about Alexa Preston as one of our Seneca Valley Top 25 students. Alexa is a member of the IB career-related programs and the Child Development Career Pathway, and I've been honored to teach her for the last 2 years in the IB Personal and Professional Skills class. Alexa in class is quiet, but don't let that fool you. I always think of the saying, calm water runs deep, because Alexa really is such a deep thinker. She's reflective, she's incredibly creative, and so even though she is quiet sometimes in class, her thoughtfulness, her reflectiveness is always so impressive. For her research project in our IBCP, she wrote 3,000 words, analyzing the ethical dilemma of allowing teachers to carry weapons in school buildings as a way for security. And her ability to analyze different perspectives, reflect on people's viewpoints, collect evidence, and present her ideas in a really coherent, critical analysis is so impressive for a high school student. I am always continually impressed by her work ethic, her due diligence, her attention to detail, and it's been such an honor to teach Alexa over the last 2 years, and I can only imagine where she'll go in life with her creativity, her drive, and her perseverance. I wish her the best of luck, and I'm so honored to speak on her behalf tonight.
And next we'll have Jordana Ash, and she'll be speaking on behalf of Olivia Blaine, followed by Kiroga.
Hi, I was so honored to be chosen by 2 students this year to speak. I love the ceremony, I have to admit. So I'm going to talk about Olivia Blaine first. So Olivia and I go way back. As in early August before her freshman year at Seneca Valley High School. She started as a cross-country runner when I was coaching in 2018. It's been a real pleasure coaching and teaching Olivia in theory of knowledge. Olivia is one of the most upbeat, free-spirited, fun-loving students I've taught at Seneca. As a runner on the cross-country team, Olivia was full of team spirit. I asked her current cross-country coach about Olivia and got a glowing description. I think he was seeing the same things that I saw when I was coaching. Olivia was our captain. She's an excellent student and person. She led the team with grace and responsibility, making sure to cheer on her teammates when she wasn't running and make sure that everyone was doing what they needed to do. She contributed to the creation of workouts frequently and led stretches. She was even able to balance cross-country with her job at Hallmark. She has also worked a bit with GSA, the Gender and Sexuality Alliance, that Coach Franco, who's also a Spanish teacher, co-sponsors, and spoke during many meetings. Olivia is also artistically talented. She took the TOK trip on a field trip. The kids have been asking me for a field trip, so I managed to get them to the media center. I don't think they meant by a field trip. Her art teacher, Ms. Hess, said Olivia joined IB Art this year, and she has embraced the assignments and creative problem solving. She does not let problems get her down, but works to problem solve. She has excellent design skills and knows how to make things look good. I enjoy her positive energy and seeing what she comes up with. I am sure that Olivia will continue to shine in college and beyond. I got Olivia a running water bottle, and this is a really creative one. I'm a runner, and I've never seen one like this. It has flowers on it, and I thought for Olivia this would be perfect because she's very artistic, and the color she might like. And I also got good running socks, which sounds a little bit silly, but honestly, I thought it was a joke that you would need good running socks, but you actually do, or else you get blisters and then you run funny and start limping. So I got her these, and I just want to say I hope she continues to keep running in college and beyond. Good luck next year, and make sure you keep in touch. And now I'm so thrilled to be able to talk about Caroline Kiroga. I was so honored when Caroline asked me to talk about her for this Top 25 ceremony. I know this speech is supposed to be about the students, but I have to give a shout out to the Kiroga family. It has been a pleasure knowing them as my role as a theory of knowledge teacher and as a cross-country coach. Okay, now back to Caroline. It's going to be about your siblings or parents. All right, so I know Caroline is a full IB diploma student. I know Caroline, she's in my theory of knowledge class. Caroline is inquisitive and very personable. Caroline she's been writing her IB World Religions, IA, which is an IB required essay, and she decided to choose a Jewish practice, and she's been asking me about my religious practices, and has been genuinely interested in what I do and in the lives of others. She is a great listener and well-liked by her classmates. I asked her field hockey coach, and she says, Caroline is a role model who leads by example. She is a hardworking individual and gives her best effort in everything she does. Her English teacher, Miss McLeod, says that Caroline is awesome and has a great sense of humor. I am not sure where Caroline will choose to go to college, but I'm partial to UVA, where she got in. So I don't know what the verdict is. I'm not pressuring her. My husband and my daughter went to UVA, and I know that she would be an asset to the school. Congratulations on your upcoming graduation. I got a book, so I kind of researched what he had, and I got this book called Blaine by Malcolm Gladwell. It's kind of theory of knowledge applied to the real world. This book will help you with quick decision-making, using insights from TOK. I hope you have a great time in college and keep up that positive attitude. Whatever college you decide to go to, I'm sure you will be successful and a real asset to that school.
Next, I'd like to welcome Ms. Julie Taylor, and she'll be speaking on behalf of Celia Bidwell, who unfortunately is not here with us tonight.
I was standing in the kitchen on Facebook on my phone and watching one of the many of your diving videos that your mom has posted. It was insane. You dove from the high dive, did multiple turns and flips, and entered the water gracefully with such a small splash. I waved my husband John over to watch and be impressed. He said, geez, in recognition of the extreme height when he saw you standing on the high dive. As you dove, flipped, turned, and entered the water with barely a splash, he said, oh, heck no, and threw up his arms as he walked away. You are impressive, Celia. I could list your accomplishments, but you're at the top 25 ceremony, so it's kind of known. In my class, IB Language and Literature, I taught Celia during virtual school. While teaching on Zoom was at least a challenge and at worst an absolute nightmare, I could always rely on you to participate in the land of blank screens. If I put students into breakout rooms to discuss or work in small groups, I knew that whatever group Celia was in would be engaged, while getting other groups to turn their sound on was like pulling teeth at times. You are willing to put yourself out there. You are kind, friendly, and inclusive. You are committed to Girl Scouts, your swim and dive team, your friends, and especially your family. Celia, your family is so proud of you. I can see it in your mom's Facebook posts and the captions she shares on those videos. But remember, the love of your family, the pride they have in you, that's not based on your accomplishments. Yes, they are proud of all you do, but we are all proud of who you are as well. Remember, as life gets more complex, as you aren't able to achieve the heights that you want to, you are always loved, you are always cared for, and you can lean on the people who love you when times are tough. Here's my advice to you. Remember, Celia, that you are human, and humans need to take care of themselves. Know your limits and be ready to say no. Invest in the people who invest in you, and remember that you should ask for help when you need it. Everyone needs help sometimes. We are better when we help and get help from each other. Good luck, Celia, and best wishes. The second person I'll be presenting for tonight is Taryn Miller. Taryn, where are you?
Over here.
There you are. Thank you. Dear Taryn, many of the graduating seniors I also taught in freshman honors English, so I knew their faces when I saw their names pop up on my participant list when I logged into Zoom to teach IB Language and Literature in virtual school their junior year in the fall of 2020. I had never taught you, Taryn, before last year, but when I got to know you well over the course of the year and associated your participant list name with strong critical thinking, participation, and pretty good writing skills. So when we came back into the building in the first days of this new school year, fall of 2021, you walked into my classroom and enthusiastically said hello. I responded very apologetically, who are you? You see, I knew Taryn, the writer and thinker and speaker. I knew you were a hard worker, punctual, engaged, and a strong critical thinker, but I did not know your face at all, because in virtual school we got used to looking at blank screens for 6 months. We found so many ways to get to know each other, through Zoom, Padlet, Flipgrid, breakout rooms, participation buttons, Nearpod, and all the other programs that didn't necessitate seeing faces. There are many ways to be known, though, and I associated your name with things other than your face. You are known as smart and hardworking. You are known for your critical thinking in writing and speaking. You are known as an includer, someone who is willing to interact with new people and make them feel welcome. And in this 21st century, when people might not even see your face, just your avatar, your chatbot, or your blank screen, make yourself known in all the ways. You are someone to know. You are worth knowing. You are determined, a hard worker, and willing to share your voice with the world, which are qualities that will take you so far in your future. We are all so proud of you, Taryn. Good luck and best wishes.
Now we take the show on the road. That got weird. I'm sorry. Next we have Ms. Tess. She is. And Ms. Tess is going to speak. Ms. Tess is going to come and speak about Miss Mariana Cruz.
so glad the microphone moves. Dr. Thorne tells me there's no speed limit. He doesn't know yet. All right. I'm here tonight to talk about Melina. Good evening. You are an incredible student who I love having in class. I've had the fortune of being your teacher in 4 classes during your high school careers. Drawing and design pre-pandemic, IB Art 1 online, and then back in person this year with Advanced Animation 2, for which there is no 1, and IB Art 2, for which there is a 1. In addition, you have been in the National Art Honor Society as a member and co-president. Now I get the opportunity to share how incredible you are with others. As an academic student, you are an introspective thinker. I am continually fascinated by the work you produce and the areas that you explore. You surprise me with your ideas and the methods you use to share your work, whether it is exploring body image, culture, storytelling, the process of knitting, or the vicious nature of a lollipop with teeth. I've witnessed your bravery on numerous occasions. The most notable one being when you did a demonstration on how to draw facial features for students online in the middle of the pandemic. You usually appear to be more comfortable being quiet and allowing others to be in the spotlight. You took control of the session and were an excellent teacher to the online black rectangles of students. And you know we teachers don't kid around about education skills. The most important thing you do as an artist is practice. You try new materials, and you make stuff continually. Having the ability to work that way enriches your skills, enriches your life, and when the rest of us have the opportunity to see it, it enriches us. I was really struck by something that the musician Jean Baptiste at the Grammy Awards said this year. The creative arts are subjective, and they reach people's lives when they need it most. Through the pandemic and coming back to school, I've always been able to count on seeing your amazing spirit in your work. And honestly, I needed that. Thank you. I'm so proud of how you have challenged yourself continually and thoughtfully during these 4 years. It has been a pleasure to teach you and experience your work firsthand. I'm excited about the work you will create at VCU in their communication arts program and beyond. Thank you.
Next, I would like to welcome Ms. Catherine McLeod. Ms. McLeod will be speaking on behalf of Mariana Hernandez and Sandra Smash.
Good evening. It was kind of lucky for me that I get to talk about both Katie and Sandra because I do kind of think of them as a unit. I've known both of them only this year, and I've had them in class together, and and so it's nice that I get to speak about both of them. Now, with that, my opening is it's shared, and then I go into kind of separate speeches for both of them. So, beginning is for both of you. So, congratulations for both of you for earning your way to the top 25. You truly have earned it. You are both deserving of this honor, truly deserving of this honor. I never really know how to give speeches like this. I could talk about your academic successes, but you're here tonight, so that would be fairly redundant. I could talk about how great you both are, but that starts to sound like a recommendation letter. So, as an English teacher, I decided to read a poem. I didn't write them, and so you're probably lucky for that. I'm not much of a writer. But each one that I picked reminds me of each of you in specific ways. So, Katie, yours is first, and the poem is famous. The river is famous to the fish. The loud voice is famous to silence, which knew it would inherit the earth before anybody said so. The cat sleeping on the fence is famous to the birds watching him from the birdhouse. The tear is famous, briefly, to the cheek. The idea you carry close to your bosom is famous to your bosom. The boot is famous to the earth, more famous than the dress shoe, which is famous only to floors. The bent photograph is famous to the one who carries it, and not at all famous to the one who is pictured. I want to be famous to the shuffling men who smile while crossing streets, sticky children in grocery lines, famous as the one who smiles back. I want to be famous in the way a pulley is famous, or a buttonhole, not because it did anything spectacular, but because it never forgot what it could do. What I like about this poem, and why I thought of you when I read it, is that the author focuses on different ways a person can be remembered and celebrated. They aren't small ways, because they mean a lot to others, but they are subtle ways of being remembered and of being famous. And when I think about you, Katie, I believe that this will be your legacy, destined to do great things in the world and in your community, but famous for who she is as a person, and even for ways you might not even realize yourself. An easy thing to notice about Katie is her sense of style and her flawless eyeliner, which I am, frankly, jealous of. But more than style for style's sake, I see it as Katie's way of declaring herself, of being the loud voice, famous in the silence. There is a fearlessness in her that claims her space wherever she is, and she makes famous to the earth, and not just the floor. I knew very few students in the class of 2022 when the school year started. Some were younger siblings of students I've had in the past, but I didn't know many of them on their own terms. Katie is one of the first to stand out to me. It wasn't because she was a talented English student, even though she is, or because she was one of my most reliable contributors to class discussions, even though she was. No, Katie stood out right away because of her inner qualities, kindness and humor and inclusiveness. In class and during lunch, when she's been in my room, I've witnessed how those qualities impact those around her and draw people into her orbit. Katie embodies the line, the bent photograph is famous to the one who carries it, and not at all famous to the one who is pictured, because I don't think she even realizes the uplifting effect she has on the people she comes in contact with. That's a rare gift, and it will be what I remember about her the most when she's graduated and left. Katie, the thing to take away from this poem is that it's a celebration of the small kindnesses people do for each other, and that comes so easily to you. It's also a reminder to never forget the ability you have to make a difference, and that's what I want for you, to never forget what you can do. Probably a more familiar poem to a lot of you. It's The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for the passing there had worn them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I have the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubt if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So this one is probably more familiar, and I expect many of you have studied it or read it at some point. But it has endured for a reason. There's a meaning to The Road Not Taken, a stillness and a depth that reminds me of Sandra. The speaker of the poem, as he makes his decisions, is contemplative and sure of his choice. I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted I should ever come back. This is Sandra in the classroom. She is a student who takes everything in and absorbs what we're saying before contributing. And when she does speak, there's a confidence in her insight that only comes from really considering her options, thinking deeply, and landing on the one that was right for her understanding. She consistently demonstrates maturity of thought, and even if she doesn't speak up often, she adds quality to the classroom. As the speaker on this poem decides on his path, he acknowledges that there isn't a right choice, just a choice that is right for him in the moment. and both that morning equally lay. I had the opportunity to read Sandra's college essay and got to know more about her that way. And the realization of this narrator that there is only a choice that is right for a particular person reminds me of her. In her essay, Sandra focused on making a decision that set her apart from her peers that was right for her and for who she wanted to be. And that's something that continually impresses me about Sandra. It's not always easy to be yourself, regardless of what people around you are doing. And this quality is what I'll remember about you in the years to come. And it's a quality that will serve you well in the future. The beautiful thing about this poem is that it's a reminder that life is a journey with small choices to be made every day as you travel along. As long as you remember to stay true to yourself and continue to consider the world around you like I've seen you do all year, you will find that you have made all the difference.
Ms. Reyes will be speaking on behalf of Mariana Cruz and Mariana Cruz.
It is my pleasure to speak on behalf of Miriam Sharif. I have come to know Miriam during the past 2 years in Spanish class and as her extended essay mentor. I've had the pleasure of watching her grow academically and flourish during her time in high school. She has impressed me with her love of learning and eagerness to use Spanish in and out of the academic school setting. You might not know, but Miriam took and passed the Maryland State Seal by Literacy exam, not only in Spanish, but also in French. Way to go, Miriam. Although I don't think they give out, the state gives out seals of triliteracy. So you'll just have to stick to the biliteracy. Miriam has also impressed me because she made the decision to write her IB extended essay in Spanish, a feat few students choose to undertake. Miriam is a risk taker, and having completed her EE in Spanish shows her courage to tackle challenges and her intellectual achievements. Plus, I got to learn a whole lot about Pablo Escobar and his personal life while reading over a paper. So, gracias, Miriam. As a student, Miriam is inquisitive and always has an insightful comment to make. This has added value to our class conversations and helped others to think in new ways. She loves to learn, and as a teacher, I can tell that she takes her time to research what she doesn't know and gain further information about topics that interest her. This instilled self-motivation and inquiring nature is uncommon. I have enjoyed having Miriam in class and will truly miss her. She's natural love of learning and willingness to participate. Miriam truly is the best. But the only one mistake you made, Miriam, was not joining Spanish Honor Society. Seriously though, you can't get any better than Miriam. And it has been a delight to get to know her. I wish her only the best and can't wait to see what the future holds. I'm so proud of you, Miriam. Mariana Cruz. She's not here today, but I'm happy to speak on behalf of her. I have known Mariana for the past 4 years in Spanish class and as her sponsor of the Spanish Honor Society. Before having Mariana in class, I taught her sister Cruz and her brother Juan, so I knew Mariana would be a special student even before having met her. I still remember her as a timid freshman in an upper-level Spanish class, quietly speaking up and adding insightful comments to our class discussions, to now a confident senior that is inquisitive as ever. Mariana is a student you only get once in a while, a true superstar. Mariana is dedicated to her studies. She's a full IB candidate and has challenged herself to take rigorous classes. She always goes above and beyond. I know that Mariana understands the concept because of how she communicates her ideas. Not only is she intelligent, but she has a beautiful way of expressing herself, which shows maturity and grace. One might think Mariana is soft-spoken, but she has a mighty voice and is ready to be heard. I am so impressed by Mariana and her intelligence and way with words. She has also been an integral part of the Spanish Honor Society for the past 3 years. She has helped to organize our first ever school-wide Spirit Week to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. Being in the Spanish Honor Society has given her an opportunity to provide service to her school and peers. She has tutored underclassmen, and her gentle nature has fostered positive relationships. Outside of school, Mariana is very creative. Her creative outlet is sketching and drawing. She's truly talented and well-rounded. Mariana is one of a kind. I know she'll be successful in the future and create her own path with grace and dignity. I am so proud of her, and I can't wait to see what's in store. Congratulations, Mariana.
And now it's my turn. So I am Ms. Megan Stuckey, and I'm here to speak on behalf of Ms. Adriana Blocker and Lauren Dive. I'm going to steal a little from Ms. McLeod, and I want to talk a little bit about both these young ladies first. We formed little family besties in our 11-person, mostly female IB biology class the last 2 years. And not just for these 2 young women, but for all the young women I've had the pleasure of working with in that class, I will say this. As a mom of 2 very young girls, I can only hope that my girls turn out to be anything remotely like you all have become. Oh. So it is my great honor to take a few minutes to speak about Adriana Blocker this evening. Adriana joined my IB biology class last year during virtual school. I had not had the pleasure of having her as a freshman. Having never had her before, I did my homework, and I asked around. Who is this girl? Can she handle IB biology? Can she handle it online? And from all the peers that I have, my colleagues that have worked with her, the answer was a resounding yes. Everyone that had the privilege of teaching Adriana in the past said very similar things. She is organized, she is smart, she is driven. Obviously, as we are talking about her here tonight, these things all prove to be very true. Adriana has already accomplished some incredible things here in her time at Seneca. At 17, she is already a certified clinical medical assistant, passing her exam last year through our health professions program as a junior. She interns at a doctor's office and has her sights set on being a doctor herself, which I have absolutely no doubt she will accomplish. Adriana is also an incredible leader in our school and in our athletic community, playing basketball and participating in the Student Athletic Leadership Council. Oh, and did we mention she's full IB diploma? Oh. And we've had multiple years of disrupted school from COVID. Yeah, I think she's driven. Okay, she's got it. But to be totally honest and candid, because, that's what we're here for, let's talk about my first impression of Adriana. I thought she was quiet. In virtual school, she did her work really well. I was very impressed with her ability to grasp biology online, but she didn't tend to unmute or go a little nuts in the chat like some of the rest of the students in that class. The Adriana in my head was very quiet, very studious, a little shy maybe. Friends and family, let me tell you, in-person Adriana, not quiet or shy. And that's definitely not a bad thing. Okay? It has been a gift getting to know her this year in person and seeing all of that personality shine through. Adriana can be sarcastic, which I appreciate, funny and insightful, and has made our little IB biology class a more enjoyable experience. We got to bond over long hours of completing IAs, her crushing up lactates and getting annoyed at glucose test strips, as I graded and smiled at her frustrations, but then also her perseverance. I am so glad that she has opted to use her voice more loudly in my room this year. Adriana has absolutely no problem speaking up when she is confused, even if she is the only person willing to do it. In fact, I look to her to figure out if everyone else is just nodding along with me to get me to keep going, or if I have actually done a good job explaining stuff. Adriana is never afraid to stop me and ask, but wait, Ms. Stuckey, why? And I hope that you know that that makes class so much better. You make me a better teacher by doing that. So as Adriana embarks on her college to med school to world-renowned doctor pathway next year, I just want to say to her, never stop asking why or demanding your explanation. Not only is that the heart of science and medicine, it is what will make sure you are always learning and always holding those around you accountable. It has been an absolute honor to have you in class and to get to speak for you tonight. Congratulations, Adriana. I now have the honor of speaking about another incredible young woman, Lauren Seid. Now, Lauren is another student who I only met last year in year one of IB biology. Again, previous teachers, same thing for everybody, equal opportunity there. Previous teachers, nothing but positive things to say about her. I know I had seen her name around on all the things. And so for the second time, they were right. Lots of hype for these IB biology ladies. Lauren has proven herself to be an incredibly dedicated student despite the challenges of the last few years. She stuck with the full IB diploma program, and Lauren adapted to each turn. Virtual school? She made it work. Hybrids? Not a problem. In person? Sure, why not? From the beginning of our time together, she would participate in our Zoom and was an exemplary student. I think Lauren might have been the only one to enjoy the projects and at-home labs I gave them too. I remember her DNA model project video was very exciting. Even before we met in person, Lauren always found ways to connect and build relationships even through that dreaded black box of Zoom. Like many of her peers, Lauren's impact on Seneca extends far beyond the classroom. She's the National Honor Society president, she's been a class and SGA officer, and really, if you know her, have you seen anyone enjoy Spirit Week more than she does? Themed outfits galore. I'm really excited to see it tomorrow. It really feels like Lauren is doing all she can to rebuild the Seneca pride and spirit in this new building. All things told, it does strike me as a little ironic that Lauren asked me to speak for her tonight. Lauren and I have some pretty major ideological differences. Lauren took IB biology, 2-year class, but has admitted that she doesn't really love science. Well, obviously, I would love to sit here and talk to you about the phosphorylation of glucose in glycolysis all day long. Lauren's biggest passion outside of school is also horses, and she is an accomplished equestrian, show rider, and self-proclaimed horse girl. I have an intense and irrational fear of horses and won't go anywhere near them. But I suppose finding our common ground despite these nearly insurmountable differences allowed us to bond during these 2 years together in IB biology to the point where Lauren is now my student aide, often spends lunch with me as well, and as I was probably as invested as her and her family about her hearing back from Notre Dame, and I was equally as excited to get to hug her in the hallway. I believe you emailed me that week to tell me about it. I think it speaks to Lauren's maturity and compassion that she is able to find these connections with nearly everyone she meets. As Lauren moves to South Bend and the Fighting Irish to conquer the business world, I'm excited to see the young woman that she continues to become. It's an exciting adventure, but I don't doubt that Lauren will carve out her own place wherever it is that she goes, building those relationships and finding that common ground with all of those that are lucky enough to meet her. Lauren, congratulations, and thank you so much for letting me honor you this evening. And next we have Sarah Fass, and she will be speaking on behalf of Janelle Furry and Danny Fink.
Not very good with flipping things and using a scooter. to note that Jamil's an IB Career Program candidate and is part of the first graduating class of IBCP ever. Get it? Jamil never ceased to be smiling, which can be rare in Zoom breakout rooms last year, and this year, writing a 3,000-word essay. I must also admit that Jamil has a fantastic sense of humor. I should thank him for being one of the only students to laugh at my jokes. Takes a lot. Jamil is quite the good Samaritan. He's quick to assist with anything and everything. Yesterday, he jumped at the chance to prop the door open, since it takes about 3 to 4 minutes for me to do that. Dad, with that lovely door stopper. I know this may appear to be a small task, but as we all know, small tasks add up. Last year during Zoom learning, Jamil was one of the very few that would turn on his camera from time to time, even in breakout rooms. And let me tell you, it's rare. I have mostly students last year and some this year, and I think 2 of you in this room had their cameras on, and I'm so grateful for that. Anyway, moving on. After observing Jamil's academic performance and kind-heartedness, I cannot help but think of a function that describes him, even though I'm not his math teacher. Jamil's the absolute value function. His positivity leads him to victory. Okay? While I will miss being Jamil's teacher, I'm excited to see what exciting things will come from his bright future. Come on up. Danny grow in and outside of the classroom for the past 3 years. Last year, I had the distinct pleasure of having Danny in 2 classes. That's right, double the fun again. IB Analysis HL Year 1 and IB Personal and Professional Skills. This year, we got to have double the fun again. This time back-to-back periods 2 and 3 with IB Analysis HL Year 2 and the second year of IB Personal and Professional Skills. His commitment to his studies is something that I greatly admire. It is important to note also that Danny is an IB career candidate and part of the first graduating class ever, and there's a number of you in here too. So I could not help but notice that during the math internal assessment process, he was actually excited, which is quite rare in a math class, especially during IA season. Danny had the opportunity to work with what he loves, engineering. If you need help with building plans, then Danny is your guy. Okay? His perseverance is something that I admire. Danny is an excellent student, which is demonstrated as a member in good standing of Math Honors Society and Math Team. And I would know that because I'm his amazing sponsor. Right? Danny also participated in Key Club with me as well during virtual learning last year and wanted to actually do more virtual learning projects this year. It was like, do I have to go to the meetings? I just want to keep doing virtual service learning projects. After seeing the success that Danny has achieved at Seneca Valley High School, I cannot help but think of a function for him too that describes him. Danny is an exponential function. His aspiration to succeed is increasing exponentially. While I'll miss being Danny's teacher and sponsor, I'm excited to see what exciting things will come from his bright future. Thank you.
All right, next up we have Nikki Preacher speaking on behalf of the non-POC.
All right, good evening. My name is Nikki Preacher, and I'm a child development teacher here. Been here for 2 years, and in that short amount of time, I've actually been very fortunate to meet a number of extremely talented students and even better people. Among the best I've met is Anon. I'm very honored that you asked me to speak for you, and in your top 25. So I first met Anon virtually in my advanced child development class, And even in the online setting, I could tell that you are an outstanding student. She's committed to learning, and this year she's my guided research class, and I also supervise her education internship at a local elementary school where she is working daily in a first grade classroom. Anon is respectful, responsible, creative, caring, trustworthy, and collaborative, just to name a few there. She also has a passion for learning and strives for the highest achievement as an individual and in a team setting. She understands the seriousness and importance of working with young children and takes class policies and procedures very seriously. Anon is a strong role model and a leader. I've thoroughly enjoyed working with Anon over the past 2 years and getting to know her. I know you have a very bright future in front of you, and I cannot wait to see what you do next.
Next, I'd like to invite up Ms. Rachel Kang to speak for Kayla Thomas.
Good evening. Buenas noches. Where is Kayla? So, tonight is a night of celebration. It is an honor for me to speak for Kayla's tremendous achievement at making the top 25 her senior year at Seneca Valley. Kayla, you're being celebrated for the excellence of your performance in all your classes. And this was possible through your persistence and hard work. I also want to express my gratitude to your parents and teachers who have made a lot of effort to support you. I have known Kayla since she was a sophomore in my Spanish class, and I was lucky to have her taking Spanish 3 and Spanish 4 with me. I was impressed with Kayla's high degree of responsibility and her impressive work ethic. She's always eager to learn. She knows that hard work and education are sure ways to open doors for herself. She loves to read, and she's a proud writer of Montgomery County Student School newspaper, where she can express her thoughts. Kayla is organized, reliable, mature, polite, and kind. She's always ready to help her classmates. She has a strong desire to succeed, so Kayla never gave up, even when she took some challenging classes. She always had a positive attitude and a smile on her face, which made everyone feel at ease around her. She holds herself to high standards, and all of these qualities will serve her well as she pursues a medical degree. I was talking to her that I said my son is going to probably take his period, so she's going to be the pediatrician, because I know she wants to be a pediatrician, and I know she's going to do great. Given her dedication to schoolwork, I know Kayla will excel in university and achieve the goals she sets for herself. Kayla, find your mentors. Your parents were your first mentors, and after that, maybe others in your family. And then maybe along came a teacher or two who helped you along to the next step. Keep finding those mentors at the university, in your work, and in your personal life. Those who will help you show you the way. They are also key to your success. Be happy. Find and follow your passions. Whatever your passion is, nurture that passion, and you will continue to thrive as you are now. You will be in flow, and then you will be happy. I wish you all the best. It was an honor to have you in my class.
Next, we have Ms. Victoria Yu, who will be speaking on behalf of Kelsey Cabayan. Kelsey Cabanayan and Ms. Sarah Ebol. Again, I'm sorry. Ebomilan. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Kelsey and Sarah both came in racing after they got their letters. And they're like, can you speak for me? And I was like, yes, because they were excited and I was excited. And then all the English teachers spoke before me, and now I'm really nervous. A few weeks ago, they asked, have you written your speeches yet? And I was like, no, not yet. And they're like, are you going to embarrass us? And I said, yes. So that's where I started. So I'm going to start with Kelsey. Kelsey, your deadpan stare just fills me with joy. I can feel it over here. When discussing top science students to honor this year, one of the first names to be written was Kelsey. Immediately there was consensus in the room. The Seneca Valley science teachers from Kelsey's years here pronounced, whoever put Kelsey's name, I agree. Kelsey's passion for science is really her drive to be a nurse. While I would trust Kelsey with my life after nursing school, I know she would make an incredible nurse because she cares about getting to know the whole person. Getting to know Kelsey saved my sanity this year. While on virtual learning, I was miserable. The empty hallways just seem and feel empty. Luckily for me, I could always count on Kelsey and her opinion on the most important question I would ask of the day. Like, what is the best chip? Apparently, it's Miss Vicky's jalapeno chip. What is the best ice cream? On that, we agree the only acceptable form of banana ice cream is in Ben & Jerry's Chunky Monkey. These moments where she put aside a little bit of learning to make these real connections is what tells me she'll be a phenomenal nurse or a phenomenal anything. You have earned all of your success. With your hard work and dedication, you will reach your goals, and if you need anything, we'll be here cheering you on. Kelsey, it has been a true honor to be your teacher this year. Thank you so much. Okay, Sarah's turn to embarrass you. Yes, I can feel it. You ready for the first line? You know it's coming. One of the best parts of Sarah is her incredible eye roll. So great, you can feel it from across the room. Feel it, ladies and gentlemen? But I always know that it's followed by a brief and authentic showing of her kind heart. I have watched Sarah share her answers with the class. I even forced her to help teach class once, and help her peers with dreaded Google Sheets and chicken wing dissections. It is Sarah's passion for physical therapy and dedication to excellence that has made her a top student in my class. It is her kind heart and ability to be completely honest with anyone that makes her so great. So great, she'll be great for anything. We should all be envious of Sarah's dedication and discipline. The physical therapy world better watch out. I remember when Sarah first got into college and was accepted into a prestigious program. And then she kept getting accepted. I realized early on that when Sarah sets her sights on a goal, she will do whatever it takes to get there. Sarah, I hope you reach all of your goals. Be unapologetic for your success. Continue to demand excellence from those around you, and know that if you ever need it, we're here for you. Sarah, you are an example of the strong, powerful woman that I hope my daughter aspires to be. Thank you so much for telling me when I'm wrong, and thank you so much for being a phenomenal student, and I look forward to seeing you reach your goals.
And our last speaker for the evening is Mrs. Annetta Weidman, speaking on behalf of Serena Zidane.
They saved the best for last. some laughs, I can take my time. Serena, Serena, Serena. I will shout your name out loud, showing how pleased and excited I am that you were selected to be a part of this long-standing tradition here in the Valley. Yes, without a doubt, you have earned the right to be on the SVHS Top 25 Most Excellent Student Scholarship Program. Serena, you have always been a very diligent worker who desires to do extremely well in anything that she set out to accomplish. Young lady, you made teaching so easy for me. Simply because of your hard work and your ethics, your intrinsic will to achieve. I count it a great opportunity to have had you in my class and on my roster when you were a freshman in honors biology. Were you afraid of me? A little. It was back then that I saw how unique and meticulous you were regarding your studies. It has been an absolute pleasure having you then and having you last semester for forensics. It was my first time teaching. Boy, did she help me. Thank you. Even though, it was just one semester, I missed you when you were gone. Serena, you continue to demonstrate one of my mottos, performance without excuse. In that you apply effective effort in every way while earning excellent grades throughout your high school career. This is to be commended, and so I celebrate you tonight, Serena. It is the truth. When I say that you rank the top 5% of just exemplary work, an exemplary student, and an exemplary example in student scholar in my whole teaching career. For real. On June 6th of 2022, you will say, goodbye. You will say goodbye to the 4 years of college preparation here in high school, and you will say hello. You will say hello to a higher level institution of learning. How marvelous is this? I encourage you to never look back with regrets, but only look back to learn from your, but even better, others' mistakes. Oh yes, one more thing. Thank you for choosing me, and you will always be in my heart. The day that you came, I was like, me? Oh my God, thank you, Mariana. I know, and we cried, but look what I have here. No crying. No crying. So let's end on a happy note. I brought these for you because they're your gesture. So we're going to end on a happy note with the school fight song. You ready? Thank you for having us.
Alright, so next year we need a prop closet for this. Sorry, that's okay. So many of you were counting. That was actually only 24 students. We do have one student, Nilay. She was not able to be here this evening, but we do want to make sure that he is recognized. He is our final top 25 honoree. And so that rounds out our crowd for the evening. As we finished. For, I think, the first time in my Seneca Valley history, we have managed to finish the top 25 in under 2+ hours. So thank you all so much for being here tonight. Thank you for lending us your students for these 4 years, through all the trials and tribulations that we have been through these 4 years. I would like to congratulate our top 25 honorees again and thank their families, everyone for being here tonight. And again, thank you to our Seneca Valley staff for putting on this event. Congratulations, seniors. This is only the first of many, many celebrations over the next few weeks. I hope you manage to enjoy all of them. Thank you.